I'm back. I've been missing for a little while, but today I have a new tutorial for you guys. We are making this African flower patch mosaic crop. It's super cute, but before we get into it, I've been away because I have been writing this. This is like 100,000 words of a novel that I've been working on. As much as I love creating content for you guys, as much as I like making sure that these tutorials are free and accessible for you to create, pieces on your own, it would mean the world to me if you could follow my author Instagram. It is Emma J. Warrender Author. I will post any and all exciting updates that happen with this manuscript. It is a dark romance, so it's not your traditional like fluffy kind of romance. The characters are complex. They have consumed me every waking moment of the day, and I hope that they're as powerful as I think they are for you too. We're making this top together. It's a little African flower mosaic crop. I'm going to show you in this video though how to create these additional rows here just to get a bit more coverage. If you don't want them, it's so fine, just skip them. All right, but let's go ahead and make this cute little top together. To make sure that this fits your body, just make a few squares. And I think you guys know how I measure things by now. I literally grab the square and I place it against myself and I just kind of look at it and say, yes, that will be enough. Okay, so I have all of my little pieces. I have made 5 squares all up, and I just did different random colors for each square. I didn't really have an idea in mind, but if you want to make them all the same, make them all the same. If you want to make them different, make them different. And then you need 6 of these little pentagon shapes here. And again, I did them in a random shade each time. This is the yarn that I used. You guys always ask me what yarn I use, so this is it. I actually don't know if this company sells this anymore, but it is from We Are Knitters, and I'm not an expert at what size yarn or like what weight it is or anything like that, so go ahead and Google it if that helps you. But this is the yarn that I used because I know that you guys will ask me, and I used it in 2 different colors. This one, I think this was just white, and then this one was like natural. So these are the 2. Now, once you have all of your pieces, let's go ahead and place them together. All right, so this is how we're going to do it. We are going to take our square pieces and line them up in the way that we want. Again, I'm not really fussed on how it is, so I'm just gonna kind of let them fall how they want, but just make sure that they're all the same way. So like, see how this one and this one is kind of the back side and this is the front. So just make sure they're all facing the same way. And we're going to be stitching so that it's along the back side. Anyway, we'll get to that though, but this is what we're doing. So we're gonna stitch all of our square ones along here, and then for our little pentagon shapes, we're going to attach them here to here, here and here, like that. And then this one here will come up the top. So see how it's like a little mosaic? I've already gotten excited. I couldn't help myself, so actually started doing this one already. And for these pieces, we're going to put another row of single crochets on the outside. But that's just because I just got excited. So, here's one I prepared earlier. And we're going to stitch that one here, and then we're going to bring these 2 corner pieces together. So where do we begin? I'm going to put this on a side, and we're going to start putting these 3 pieces together. Okay, so here is what we want our little pentagons to look like. This is what I have. So I've made sure that they're all right side facing up. So the bit that is against skin is just here on the back. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to we're going to stitch along here and along here. So the first one that I'll do is I'll sandwich these two together, and we're going to stitch along here. So go ahead and get your yarn, slip knot, insert your hook, and when you're looking at it from this way, so sometimes you can do inside loop stitches, which is these two here. I'm going to grab the outside ones on each. So starting from my corner, I'm going to grab here, and then on this one I'm going to grab here, and I'm going to attach these together with a single crochet like that. So again, this outside loop and the outside loop on the other side, which is here, and single crochet. So there's always, oh, maybe that was blurry. Let's do it again. Outside loop of this one, so you can see here this little V shape. I'm just taking the one that's closest to me, and then on the other piece, the one that's furthest away. Single crochet. So there is a million different ways that you can attach this. Chucky's about to play with one of his squeaky toys, so excuse that. But there is a million ways that you can attach these. You can attach it with slip stitches, you can attach with single crochets. If you needed more like coverage, you can attach it with double crochets. But I like to do it, and you can do it with like the inside stitches instead, but I'm doing it this way because can you see how you can see this little line here? That's what I wanted. So if you don't want this line and you want them to kind of join like this, do the inside loops. And the inside loops will be like this one here, this one here, and this one here, this one here, this one here. We're doing the outside ones, which is this one and this one. And then that will give you this line. But if you don't want it, don't do it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off this one, and then we'll come back and we'll attach the other little pentagon piece. Okay, and I am at the end here. I'm just going to chain one, cut my yarn, pull through, pull tight. Now, so we did that. See how it's got like both our, what's it called? Our back pieces together and our front pieces are together. Make sure you're doing the same thing here. So this time we are sandwiching these two together and then bringing it around here. So slip knot, and it's the same way. While I go along on this one though, I am going to hide my tail ends, but it's these outside loops once more. Make sure that you start from your corner and my corner, and we're taking outside loops. All right, so I'm getting towards the center of this one. So now all you have to do is bring these two edges together and just continue. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue this all the way to this corner here. All right, so here we are. Our pieces are all connected together. I haven't tied this one off yet because I did a round of single crochets all the way around the outside. If you don't want that, then you can skip this step, but if you're continuing, just go right to the very end here and then go into every single stitch with a single crochet, and I will show you what to do at the corner here. Okay, so we're at our corner. In our corner piece, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into that same spot, and then continue with your single crochets into every single stitch. And that just keeps your corner piece nice and sharp like that. So go ahead and do that, single crochets all the way around. Each time you get to a corner, which is just these pieces, continue along here. Don't put a chain here, but just in these corners, chain 2 and single crochet. I thought I would take my crochet outside, and there's this guy sleeping or sunbaking with his little tongue and his little beanie. Hey? Oh my goodness. That is the life. Chungli! Chucky! Hi! Are you crocheting? Alright, so here we have our 2 pentagon pieces with single crochets all the way around. They are done for the minute. Put those aside. Now I've already started on my squares because we're going to do it in the same way. So I've just gone ahead and done single crochets again with those outside loops so that we can keep this little line here. I've got one more here that we can put on together. So find the pieces, the back pieces, so that you've got, you know, like back piece and back piece. And it's the same way. So if you don't need to, if you already are comfortable with what you're doing, you can skip this. But slip stitch, get your 2 squares together. Grab these outside loops of your corner pieces and single crochet. And I will single crochet all the way along until I reach the end. All right, and when you've reached the end, it should look like this. Chain 1, cut your yarn, pull through, pull tight. All right, so that this isn't looking messy, I'm just gonna go ahead and weave in all of these tail ends, and then we're gonna come back with this one because we're gonna add a few stitches around the outside of it. All right, cool. So it's a little bit cleaner. I left the end ones because we're gonna be doing single crochets all the way around anyway. If you want to leave yours like this, you can leave yours. I actually want mine to be a little bit bigger, like I want it to have more coverage. So I'm going to take a row of double crochets all the way around this. So insert my hook. I'm going to start in this corner here and attach, chain of 2, and then in every single stitch I'm going to place a double crochet. And it was just kind of like how we did the single crochets all the way around our pentagon pieces. I'm just going to take double crochets all the way around my entire work until I come back to the start. In every corner we will do a double crochet, a chain of 2, and then another double crochet in that same spot. But when I get to a corner, I'll come back and we'll do that together. But this is what it is looking like so far. I'll meet you at a corner. Okay, and I am at a corner. So in our corner, we put a double crochet, our chain of 2, and then another double crochet in that same spot, and then we continue like normal. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this one, and then when we come back, we're gonna do a space stitch with a color change. All right, so because I started mine in my corner, I've just done a double crochet here, chain of 2, and then I'm going into that first one. From here, because I want to change my yarn color, I'm going to cut my yarn, get my other color, and attach. And then that way, now I grab my new color and finish off that loop. Cool, so there's my corner. From here, we're going to do I like to call it a space stitch. So we're gonna chain 3. 1, 2, 3. This counts as a double crochet here. So from here, go ahead and chain 1. Yarn over. We're going to skip 1 stitch and go into the next with a double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, and into the next with a double crochet. And we're going to do this all the way around. Chain 1, skip 1, into the next with a double crochet. And in every corner you put your double crochet, chain of 2, and a double crochet in the same stitch. So go ahead and take this all the way around, and I will meet you back at the start. All right, I am at the end here. I am at the end here. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of half attach this because we're doing another color change. I'm changing back to my white. So I'm just going to knot this in. And then finish with the white yarn. All right, chain 2, and once this is attached, just go ahead and take double crochets into every single stitch all the way until you make it back to the start. And I'm gonna go over my tail ends, and when you get to your the big spaces, you can just go straight into that large space like that. You don't have to go into the loops, so just go into the large space, but a row of double crochets all the way around until you come back to the start in the same way we did our first round of double crochets. So every corner, double crochet, chain of 2, double crochet in the same spot, and I will meet you back. This guy with all of his fluff. All right, I am nearing the end of my double crochets back in the white color. So I thought we would come back and do like a little mini try on before we put it all together. It feels so weird having the camera on me again after being away for so long. But, you know, I really am loving writing at the moment. It's been the best, and these characters just would not, but they will not leave me alone, even now still. So, you know, I'm really excited about it. And if dark romance is your jam, please reach out, please leave a comment below, please follow my Instagram, and you know, hopefully I'll be published, and then we can all enjoy this crochet book journey together. I've just done my last stitch, so I'm going to chain 1. Did I chain 1? I didn't chain 1. I'm going to chain 1, cut my yarn, pull through, pull tight. Now, grab your piece. This is what mine looks like. I just wanted a little more fabric. This is going kind of around your waist area, and then you've got your little pentagon pieces that will connect here. So if you put this against you and you're like, it's not enough coverage, you can continue sorry, earthquake. You can continue with this double crochet space stitch pattern all the way around, and you can also do it on your little pentagon pieces. I have a small chest, so this is fine for me. But if you need more coverage, you can go ahead and add more coverage to this one. This one would actually be kind of cute if you did a little space stitch, like maybe even if you did a single crochet space stitch so that it didn't have to be like as wide as this one. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. We'll decide. I'll place it on the ground and I'll see what I decide, but maybe we'll put a space stitch around this one, maybe we won't. But if you want to put a space stitch around this one, go ahead and put your space stitch around this one. But next step, once you're happy with how this is fitting, is we're gonna attach these little pieces. This is gonna be so cute. I get really excited when like I get to like put the pieces somewhat together, and then I'm like, oh gosh, yeah, it'll look really cute. If you like to be precise, you can stitch marker these on. I just kind of roughly look at it and then go, yeah, I'm happy with it. So I don't know, let's decide if I want to do a space stitch or not. But then we'll be attaching these pieces together. All right, here we are with this one. So the first thing that I want to do, slip knot, is just attach these two corner pieces together. So this is the top and this is the bottom piece that's getting attached. So find, bring your two right sides together, and we're just gonna attach this tiny little corner piece here. I'm gonna just attach it with slip stitches, and I'm going to go through both of the knots, and I'm gonna go through, maybe I'll do single crochets just because I want it to be super strong. And I'll just go through maybe 3 stitches just to make sure that it is super secure. After that, chain 1, cut your yarn, pull through, pull tight. And a little corner piece is connected here. Great, okay, so this is our bottom piece. And then we have our waist part here. So everything that you're seeing now is the bit that is showing. What is against skin is facing the carpet. So I want to line up this first corner with my square here. So I'm probably going to attach it to here. So I'm just going to take a stitch marker and place it in there. And then we're just going to stitch all the way along. But of course, we're going to flip it so that it's this bit is all on the same side. But I'm going to do the same with this one. So we're skipping this first square. Find kind of like this corner piece here, and we're placing this corner there. Cool. Now go ahead and flip your work down and just match up your stitches. So that'll be all lined up here, and maybe my corner piece will start here. And same with this side, where we will line up everything stitch by stitch, and my corner piece will land somewhere here. Cool. So now we're just going to take single crochets all the way across here. So you start with a slip knot. You can do slip stitches if you want to. I'm just choosing to do single crochets just because I think that they're a little bit stronger. And we've got this stitch marked. I don't care now if there is a line showing. So I'm just going to go through both of these so that I know that it is super, super, super secure, and single crochet it. So I'm going to do this all the way along until I reach the end. All right, I've crocheted all along the bottom here. So now we are going to make a little braid that will be used to tie this to our back. Okay, for our straps, we're going to attach into these corners here, which is at the top of our shirt. So for this, I'm going to grab like a pretty long piece of yarn. Okay, and then from here, I'm going to get into my corner piece. And I'm going to pull this yarn until it's even on both ends. Okay, so I've got a really long piece of yarn here and it's attached to the top corner. And then I'm going to do the same on the other corner. Okay, so we've done that once. Now go ahead and add one more in each side, just in the same way. All right, so once you've got your pieces of yarn in here, you should have 4 strands all up. From here, you're just going to do a simple braid. And it doesn't have to be too long because we're connecting all of the pieces together. And when I'm braiding this, I'm pulling all the way through, because if you just go really quickly like that, you'll get a knot down here. So just make sure every now and then you pull it all the way through. All right, so I've done like a little mini braid up until here. From here, you can kind of, I'm just gonna eyeball it, you can measure it if you want, but this looks like it's like pretty even. So it's like a little triangle point here. From here, I'm going to grab my yarns and just do like a slip knot and pull all of this through. Cool, just like that. Now from here, I'm just going to go ahead and continue to braid this all the way until the very end. Okay, so I've attached my strap here. I've made it really long. I'll explain why later. But once that one is attached, go ahead and do the same on the other side. And then after that, we'll come back. Okay, so I've attached my straps and I've also gone ahead and sewn in all of my ends. Now, I made my straps really long because when I wear shirts like this, I only like to tie like one thing. But if you don't mind tying like, you know, your halter neck at the top and then a waist tie, you can go ahead and create as many braids and attachments as you like. But for me, I just like the one. So this is where I'm making my crisscross attachments. So we've got these ones up top. I've crossed them over to go to the first point of our hexagon here. I'm going to cross them one more time to go into our square here. So in here. And on this side. And then a final one at the bottoms of the squares here. Okay, and there is all of our crisscrosses. I need to sew in this tail end, I've missed one. But here is our shirt. So let's go ahead and try this one on. And that is it, you guys. That is how you make this African granny square crop. I hope you enjoy this video. Be sure to follow my Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.